Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
Brian from Owl Street Studio and Alana and myself from Afternoon Creative. We are back for another marketing chat, and we are still talking about color. We like talking about color palettes, websites, and how color is used, the color psychology. Today, we're going to look at some example sites and talk about how they're the feelings that they're giving us, the psychology behind the colors, the messaging, and all that good stuff. How are you both doing today? Give me your answer in a color. Brian, how are you doing?
Bright pink.
Bright pink. Excellent. Well, I mean, I think that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alana, how are you feeling today in a color?
I'm feeling white.
White. Okay. What does that mean?
I feel like I cleaned some today, and so I have some space. And I'm about to set up a new desk, so it's like white and clean and airy, and I'm just trying to channel that because other parts of my life are really crazy. So
okay, I love that.
A rainbow.
Okay. I'm feeling like a very warm yellow. I had a pretty good day. I got a lot done. I'm feeling kind of settled. I feel like an accomplished calm. Okay, well, let's jump right in to our first site. We're going to start with, can you guys see my screen?
Starting with Google?
Not Google. Well, actually, we could start with Google. We are going to start with CVS. Boom. Here we are. I'm going to kick us off with just my quick reaction. I'm seeing a lot of red. I'm seeing a lot of white. It's feeling clinical to me. Alana, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of red and white as well. I think you think of medicine, and that's where you go to the pharmacy and get whatever you need to heal your ailments.
Brian?
Yeah, well, definitely red, white, and black. But I think it's interesting how they're doing a lot of color in the images. So it's not just the flat red of like the box that says your vaccine and testing needs in one place, but the red in the photo next to it, the red bag, the photo next to that, the red in all the beauty supplies, and the red Tylenol. So they're really tying this red, not just in the flat colors, but in all the pictures you're using.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of red, a lot of colorful. Oh, and now we're down here with some blue.
Interesting.
Blue and gray. What? Any gut reactions to this blue being added in here?
Yeah, it's a nice contrast. So they're using to make this bottom part really stand out. So, I mean, I think the blue all on its own doesn't really stand out, but since we've seen so much red, this blue is such a contrast, such a difference to that now it jumps out.
Absolutely. And I think something that we've talked about previously is authority and power, and red and dark blue have come up for both of us. And I think medical, pharmacy, anything in the health industry definitely want trustworthy. We're the go-to source. So I'm definitely getting that from here. Let's look at madbox.io. Whoa. Brian,
Oh.
First reaction. What are you feeling?
Like I'm in kindergarten, because the blue plus the texture of these images, it feels like blue from Play-Doh. So it feels like something I could squish. It's like a lighthearted blue.
Absolutely. Alana, what are you getting from the colors?
I was going to say it's very playful, childlike for sure. You have, there's the blue in there, obviously, and then all of the other colors. It's like pinks and oranges and some reds, like corally colors. There's not a ton of contrast in all of those colors, but each one of them has brightness to it. And yeah, they're all very childlike, fun colors.
I'm going to jump to another page on this site just to see if we get kind of a different vibe with the colors not animated. Oh, we've got more animation. Okay, so we're seeing a pink to orange.
It matches their logo.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think? I mean, to me, I'm assuming this is a kids game or something aimed at parents / kids. What do we think, like, the pink to orange color psychology is trying to communicate to parents? Because previously we've talked about how, like, on the CVS site, bright red and dark blue, they were asking for trust, basically. I would assume any site reaching out to parents is also asking for trust, but here we are in like a totally different color scheme. What do you guys think color-wise? Anything jumping out about orange and pink together here?
I would say the orange is, it's both of them, and it's like friendliness, welcoming colors, creativity. Maybe I'm not quite sure what this game is that they're selling or advertising, but it's possible that there's like a creative piece to it, like you make your own adventure or something. So to me, there's some creativity strewn in there.
Yeah,
for me, what jumps out less about the colors, it's more about that it's a gradient. And I don't know, this maybe me being a little cynical, but for me, it feels like it's trying to say that, hey, we're trendy, because gradients right now and gradients like this are really popular, kind of like the 2020, 21 kind of trend. So for me, I think it's asking for trust in a different way, saying like, hey, parents, we're cutting edge, like especially the gradients combined with all the animation and they're trying to be extra fancy with their website. So I think it's trying to show that, hey, we're high tech and new, but we're not stuffy. We're not some Uber or DoorDash. We're something for your kids, but we look kind of like DoorDash and that kind of tech sphere. So you can trust us because we're trendy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we are going to look at Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Brian, first impression. I'm going to scroll a little bit.
I always have mixed feelings about this site because I personally really like the site. I use it all the time, but the design and the layout of the site is pretty atrocious in my opinion. Like let's just cram as much stuff in one spot as we can. So it's really overwhelming. The only thing I like about the red, honestly, it looks like the same color palette like a CVS, but here I think the red has a totally different meaning because it ties with the name, it ties directly with tomatoes. So it's kind of on the nose. But for me, it feels less about authority, where the red in CVS was about authority. This is more whimsy, kind of a joke, playing off the name. And especially have the little green squish icon. So this red feels juicy. It feels, like food. It feels a different, it might actually be the same red as the CVS, but it feels a lot different.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how this site, and I agree, it's hard to look at, but what's great about it is they've really leaned into the color psychology in the sense that you see red, you kind of, you have a message taken away. You see green, it's very much the traffic light in here. It's easy to quickly look at it and know what's going on. And also, I always kind of notice there are certain sites that have to share a lot of imagery that they don't have control over.
Yeah.
So they're going to share, they have to share the movie poster, but they can't put an overlay of, their shade of red on every single one. So I do think the primary red is a good color to pair with basically every other color ever.
Yeah.
That's kind of a base color.
It also stands out from the other colors in the movie posters. You don't see a lot of movie posters that use red like that. So, that's sort of, in a way, it doesn't 100% guarantee that it's not going to feel like it's part of the movie poster, but it's like 99% guarantees that the branding will stick out from whatever images that they're showing.
Are your percents a pun on Rotten Tomatoes?
Or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are.
This website certified fresh. It's got 100%.
Yeah.
That red's a 100%. 89 audience views at 75.
Yeah.
All right. We're jumping to the next one.
Okay.
We got to get away from this red.
Yeah.
We're going to seed.com. I knew it was going to be green.
It could have been brown.
Whoa. Okay. Ryan, first impressions.
I can't tell. Is that green? Is the background? Is it a texture? Is it like a cloth?
Could be. It's kind of, to me, it just looks pixelated.
Okay, yeah, that's why I can't tell. So that's interesting. How I think how textures can change the feeling of the color. So maybe if that green was totally flat, I might have one emotion to it, but because it has a texture to it, makes me feel differently, and I like it. It feels really calming. It's not what I expected. It's a lot darker. This kind of shade of green I know is also kind of the current trend, but it feels deep, maybe majestic, and I guess also paired with how big the picture is and the layout. It's green everywhere. It's a giant picture, so it feels deep.
Yeah.
Kind of taking it in.
Yeah, it's giving me a lot of like organic, clean, kind of negative space, less is more vibes. What about you, Alana?
Yeah, I was going to say less is more. I have no idea, again, anything about this brand, but sort of maybe clean ingredients, or what you're getting. It comes from the earth. Who knows if it really does? Reminds me of grass and sort of like a big green pasture. And it's like no fuss. You get what you see.
Okay, I'm moving on to our last one for the evening. We're going to flyplatoon.com. And we're on New Orleans internet, so nice and slow. Oh.
Yeah, really slow.
Really slow. Here we go. Okay. Whoa. All right. Okay. First impressions, I'm seeing a lot of black, white, and gray. um, Brian, what are they conveying to us with this, again, monotone kind of palette?
Yeah, I think they're trying to use all the cultural connotations of everything going on in this design, not just the color, to convey a class, to convey a certain socioeconomic status. So, what we think of as high class, this starkness of white and black and kind of a monotone. But then we're looking at, was this a private jet or something? And then the font, the lettering, it all comes together to make it feel like it's upper crust, whatever you feel about that.
Yeah. I'm going to keep scrolling a little bit. I think there's a little more color in here.
I use that font. Like, darn it, guys, it's one of my favorite fonts.
Okay, Alana, what reactions are you having to this new set of colors?
Yeah, it's interesting. The red is it's like a deep red. So to me, it reminds me of like red velvet in a way. So, which you might think of like a king's robe or something like that. And yeah, so initially, to me, it doesn't really fit with the original graphic or animation, the black and white. It feels softer and more elegant, but still elevated, I guess. So maybe like less sophisticated, but more elegant.
Yeah, to me, this red is a little bit, well, I guess intimidating. This whole color palette is very, intimidating to me, which I guess maybe is part of their messaging. They want it very exclusive, very unattainable to the masses. I would have, to me, when I think of a private jet, I think kind of light and airy, still very exclusive and, expensive, but I would think more black, white, and something a little softer. Just to close us out, I'm going to leave this really open-ended. Was there a particular site or a particular use of color that really got the message through to one of you? Like, which one really stood out with their use of color? Brian, do you have an answer ready?
Well, I think the one that was the most concise and kind of the most power packed was actually the first one. I think CVS, like they pulled everything together to convey exactly, I think, the message they want to convey. Where the other ones, like Rotten Tomatoes with that same kind of red, it was a little muddled. Where I think CVS really had the best kind of all in, bang for your buck kind of punch. Yeah.
Alana, what do you think?
I thought the seed website, probiotic website, did a good job conveying, that they were, I don't know, I think they have an audience for sure. And they're trying to reach that audience. And there is a message that they're trying to convey. It may not be the entire story behind it because, when you see that green and you think earthy and all these things, like you don't necessarily immediately think probiotic. So they might need something else additionally to help convey that message, but they definitely seem like they're on that track toward getting their message across. What do you think, Emily?
Yeah. I agree. For me, Seed was the one that stood out, but I do want to give honorable mention to Rotten Tomatoes for their use of basically traffic light colors. I think it was a really smart site, or a really smart decision for a site like that, where what they want is for you to be able to quickly look and take away the right message. And so to me, they really, they made that easy. Anyone could go to it for the first time and glance really briefly and be able to walk away with some new knowledge. Okay, so great chatting with y'all.
Yeah, you too.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
And good night.
Yeah,
good night.
There you go. No bloopers. No.
In one word, what does red mean, Brian?
Passion.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry. There's a mouse.
You okay?
No. Hold on. I need to get my husband to deal with it while I'm in here.
No problem. You want us to stop recording or keep this on tape?
Keep recording. You have to.
Bye. There's a mouse that was trying to eat Angie's dog food. I don't know where it is. Can you come see if it's still around? Thank you. God. Sorry.
That's okay. Talk about the odds. Right when I said the word passion, you jumped.
I know. Spirit overtook you.